Have you ever caught yourself saying, they got what they deserved, even when something awful happened?
Yeah, like when you hear about someone losing their job or getting scammed, and part of you thinks, well, they must have done something wrong.
Exactly. That instinct comes from a deep psychological bias called the Just-World Fallacy. Our need to believe that life is fair and people always get what they earn.
So it's basically the karma idea, but wired into the brain?
Pretty much. Psychologist Melvin Lerner coined it in the 1960s. He discovered that when people saw innocent victims suffer, they felt an uncomfortable tension. So they blamed the victim instead of accepting that bad things can happen to good people.
That's so backwards. Why would we blame victims just to feel better?
Because the alternative, that the world is random and unfair, is terrifying. Our minds crave predictability. If good behavior always leads to reward and bad to punishment, the universe feels controllable.
So it's a comfort illusion. We bend reality to protect our sense of safety.
Exactly. The Just-World Fallacy is emotional armor. It keeps us from feeling vulnerable by convincing us that fairness is guaranteed.
That explains why people sometimes say cruel things after tragedies like, she shouldn't have been walking alone, or he must have ignored the signs.
Yes, it's not always malice, it's fear disguised as logic. Blaming the victim lets the observer think, that wouldn't happen to me because I'd make better choices.
That's heartbreaking. We trade empathy for the illusion of control.
Exactly, and experiments prove it. Lerner once had participants watch a woman receiving painful electric shocks in a study. Those who couldn't intervene started convincing themselves she deserved it. The mind would rather twist morality than face helplessness.
That's horrifying, and yet I totally get it. Helplessness is unbearable.
Right. The brain wants closure, even if it costs compassion.
So this fallacy must show up everywhere. News, politics, even gossip.
Constantly. When we hear about poverty, we assume laziness. When someone is sick, we wonder if they made unhealthy choices. When a relationship fails, we ask what they did wrong. It's easier than facing uncertainty.
It's like our empathy runs on a budget and fairness eats the funds.
That's a poetic way to put it. And social media amplifies it. Every comment thread filled with people acting like cosmic accountants, balancing moral ledgers.
So belief in a just world comforts us individually, but hurts us collectively.
Exactly. Because when we assume people deserve their pain, we stop helping. The Just-World Fallacy quietly fuels inequality. It tells us the system must be fair, so those suffering must have earned it.
That's dark. But I guess it also explains why some people glorify success stories. If the world is fair, winners must be virtuous.
Perfect observation. We don't just blame victims, we also idolize the lucky, assuming wealth means wisdom or morality. The same bias, flipped positive.
So the fallacy builds both judgment and hero worship.
Exactly. It's the psychological engine behind celebrity culture, toxic positivity, even manifestation extremes. Believing good things must happen to good people.
But isn't there some truth to karma? Don't actions have consequences?
Of course, actions matter. The fallacy isn't believing in cause and effect, it's believing cause and effect are always moral. Real life is probabilistic, not poetic.
That's such a clean distinction. Cause and effect are physics, justice is poetry.
Beautifully said, and sometimes poetry lies to us.
So how do we unlearn this bias?
By noticing it in real time. The next time you see misfortune, pause before assigning blame. Ask, am I seeking explanation or protection?
That's powerful. It shifts the focus from judgment to self-awareness.
Exactly. And building empathy helps too. Studies show that when people vividly imagine a victim's perspective, the bias weakens. Empathy breaks the illusion of fairness.
Because the moment we feel their pain, our mind can't hide behind fairness anymore.
Yes, empathy makes randomness survivable. It replaces certainty with connection.
That's so human. We trade the idea of a perfect world for the reality of a shared one.
Exactly. And that's maturity. Realizing fairness isn't guaranteed, but kindness is still a choice.
So justice isn't natural. It's something we build.
Yes, the world doesn't hand out fairness. We invent it, piece by piece, every time we act with compassion.
That's oddly hopeful.
It should be. Accepting an unfair world doesn't mean giving up. It means stepping up. Once we stop waiting for cosmic fairness, we start creating human fairness.
That's such a strong message, but why is it so hard for people to see their bias?
Because it's invisible until something unfair happens to us. Then the illusion shatters. Suddenly, we see randomness, and we want empathy we never gave.
That's humbling. It means suffering opens the eye that privilege keeps closed.
Exactly. The moment life feels unfair, we realize fairness was never a rule, just a wish.
So awareness is the new justice.
Beautifully put. Awareness stops the cycle of judgment.
I can see why you said this connects to control. If the locus of control taught us we can influence our lives, this one teaches us to accept what we can't and still care anyway.
Exactly. Control inward, compassion outward. That's the balance.
I love that.
It's the paradox of wisdom, accepting randomness without becoming indifferent.
That sounds like something Viktor Frankl would say.
Yes, he lived it. He wrote that between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space lies freedom. Recognizing injustice is painful, but in that pain, we find choice.
So the Just-World Fallacy is really a fear of that space, fear of facing chaos.
Exactly. Believing the world is fair keeps that space closed. Understanding life is complex opens it.
And once it's open, we can fill it with empathy.
Yes, because empathy is the only justice that's always available.
That line hits deep.
It should. In a random world, kindness is the only thing that restores balance.
So what's the takeaway?
That fairness isn't a law of nature, it's a human promise. Every time we choose compassion over blame, we keep that promise alive.
That's beautiful.
Because it's true. Justice starts small, with how we interpret someone else's pain.
Then maybe we can build a world that's not just, but gentle.
Exactly. If you enjoyed this exploration, subscribe to The Curiosity Vault, where we uncover the hidden forces shaping your thoughts and behavior. Until next time, stay curious.